This episode is brought to you by eBay Authenticity Guarantee. eBay knows that when it comes to jewelry, authenticity is the real gem. When you see the blue check mark that says Authenticity Guarantee, it means your next piece will be carefully inspired by jewelry experts and will always be worth its weight in gold. Whether you're looking to make a statement or build the perfect everyday look, eBay is making sure you get the real deal. With eBay Authenticity Guarantee, you can trust that jaw-dropping piece will always arrive jaw-droppingly real. Ensure your next purchase is the real deal. Visit ebay.com for terms. This episode is brought to you by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. All right, it's official. I think I've discovered the ultimate coupling of all time. Like any good relationship, they really balance each other out. One is super sweet, and the other, well, they can be a little nutty sometimes. It is, of course, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, the perfect combination of peanut butter and chocolate. So perfect, some would call it true love. Find Reese's now at a store near you. Welcome to Bachelor Party. I'm Juliet Litman. I'm here with Callie Curry. Callie, hello.
Hi.
Callie, I hope you're not spiraling. Are you spiraling?
I don't think I'm in a great place, to be completely honest. But I am trying to keep hope alive for the both of us because we all know how much you do not like Zach.
Wouldn't say I like him more after this week.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I might like Zach more and I like the contestants less.
Okay, I accept that. However, can you imagine after a week at most of Zach feeling this strongly about him? I just don't understand. They're so obsessed with him. I just honestly, is it just because they're on the show? Or are they just saying it? Does anyone really feel this way? They seem so focused on getting kisses from him. And I'm just is anyone really dying to make out with this man? We know you're not.
You know how I feel about making out, which by the way, it was brought up.
It was.
This week. And I was like, great combo. That's the type of combo you guys need to be having. No, I just think that you go on this show and you feel like you're supposed to be in love with the person.
Right. And I guess you go wanting to have that feeling. So you're just I'm going to just pretend that I do and go play along with it.
Also, everyone is competing for time. So whenever you get time, it's the best thing ever. People sometimes get to the end and are like, wait, do I even like this person? Like Jason from was that last season?
Yeah, Jewish Jason. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he got to the end and was like, I mean, everything's been fine so far, but I don't really know you. I'm not sure if I like you or not.
I wonder what he's up to. I think he's become friends with the Nick. I've seen him in some Nick Instagrams, but I don't know. For some reason, he will not do this podcast. All I want is to have Jason Alabaster on Bachelor Party. And it just, for whatever reason, it's not happening. Very frustrating. However, tease, Thursday, Jesse Palmer. Can't wait.
Oh, God.
You
must be beside yourself.
I tried really hard to do it in person. I kept asking. I was like, can we do it in person? Can we do it in person? And they're just like, no. But you can have 30 minutes on Zoom.
Side note, I met Rodney.
Oh, my God.
He is as charming as everyone says. He told me that he had just met Rachel, too.
Oh.
So I talked to Rachel, and Rachel was like, totally get it. He is really he just seems so genuine. I don't know how anyone can radiate genuineness. Is that a word?
Sure.
Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that, but that's what he does. And she also said she met Nate.
Oh.
And was shocked at how great he was as well.
I'm not shocked. Nate just seems like he's got it all. As I think I've said many times on this podcast, I don't really like a lot of male jewelry, but on Nate, it just looks so good. You mean Michelle's Nate with a Y, right? Yeah.
Nate with a Y. She was just you would think that he would be life of the party, but he was very just to his own self, not wanting attention, but you could see his confidence. And I'm yeah, I mean, I'm sure if I looked like that and walked around at 7 foot tall with all these Bachelor people, I would feel very good about myself.
And they're roommates, right? Nate and Rodney?
Probably.
I think they are. In person, whatever it was, Zoom, did Rodney have a coach's vibe? Because I feel that's my picture of him, where I'm just sort of he's is he a Joe Mazzulla type, young coach? People respond to him.
Could see that because he seems just super positive.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just can't imagine him like getting mad at someone or like holding someone accountable. Like it would be really hard for him.
I feel like he would turn inward. Like when Eliza screwed him over, he like put it on himself.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't imagine him like actually being pissed off at somebody.
They should have like Nate and Rodney. You know how they used to have like Chris Harrison and like the guy from Best in Show, Fred Willard, do like play-by-play of like Bachelor events. Like I'd like Nate and Rodney do that together. I'd like to see their friendship vibe.
Yeah, I think it'd be really funny.
Maybe they can come on the pod together, Nate and Rodney. That'd be fun.
That would be really fun.
A 2-on-2. You mean Nate and Rodney?
Yeah, we'd win.
Yeah, it sounds great. I felt like I was going to mention something else along these lines, but now I don't remember. But let's get into what's going on this week. We're going to talk about the episode. But first, I briefly touched on this with my colleague, Lindsay Jones. But Callie, I wanted to discuss the situation with Greer. Greer is the latest person in Bachelor Nation to make it seem like it's normal to be around or participate in blackface. I don't know. I'm like, they make it seem like it's common. Maybe it is common.
No.
I just like, it's so fucked up. Like, how do they keep finding people who participate and defend blackface? It's like, is it like a search criteria?
It's almost impossible to find this many people.
I think it seems deliberate because it seems so hard to understand how it keeps happening. Otherwise,
there was an abundance of think pieces this past week on how. I mean, it is really hard for me to believe that like they've been able to find this many people that have done it. So they have to look for it in hopes that someone will figure it out that this happened. Like it just doesn't make sense. Also, like most of my life, like 85% maybe of my life was in the South. And while I'm sure I wasn't invited to any of these blackface parties, I've never fucking come across it or heard of it or anything. So I'm like,
yeah, you went to an SEC school. It's not like...
Yeah, like I know, obviously I knew what it was. It exists. But like, I don't remember it ever being like something that I heard was happening ever.
Right.
Where is this going on to where there's so many people and all these excuses? I'm like, if it happened post like 1980, I was like 75, 1980, you knew what you were doing. There's just no, people are like, it was 10 years ago. 10 years ago is not that long ago.
No,
it's fucking weird
not.
You did blackface in 2012.
It's crazy. I just want to be clear. Greer herself didn't do it, but her friend did. And she defended it on social media.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's no explanation. I will say in terms of casting.
Well, no, do you know what her explanation was?
Well, should we read her apology?
Oh, I was saying what she said, like how she was defending it. She was saying that her friend was dressed up as a shadow.
Yeah, as a shadow. Which is like also unto itself, like very offensive. Like if it's just everything about it is so offensive. I will say she sucks. I don't know. I don't even want to make it like she sucks. I don't know her, but like this whole thing is horrible, and another just like reason to question what they're trying to achieve with this show. But one thing on the casting I wanted to mention, like I do feel like this is deliberate in some way, but I don't know that they're like, let's make sure we have at least one person who's participated or defended blackface. But I do think that they have very small circles in which that they recruit contestants to be on the show. And they probably look for like the same attributes like over and over that is common among like a certain population that is racist and participates in, these like racist activities. And so I think that's one of the reasons. Also, like they don't like find a new batch of 30 people every time. It's like they have like a pool and they go back to them. So I think that's part of it.
I think that they also are okay with contestants having some sort of controversy. And they wouldn't say that they knew it beforehand, but there's just no way they didn't know beforehand with all their contestants.
Right. Well, it's on social media. That's how we found out. That's how people found out. So if they really wanted to know, they would dig deep and like vet them that way. But they don't.
I think they do, and still have them on the show.
And they're like, okay,
it's gonna bring views. It's gonna bring people to like the amount of articles that I saw about Greer, and it wasn't about Greer. It was more so just like, how does this keep happening on the Bachelor franchise, and like all that's attention.
Yeah, and yeah, it's Zach sucks. And I think everyone knows. I think ABC knows. They've done so much like get to know Zach, like promo in a way they haven't with other bachelors. And Ashleigh, our producer, said this as well. It's like it's a way to get free publicity by like creating a controversy and still talking about it. I've been really negative about Zach, so I was like down on this season. But I'm curious, like, do you feel like I want to stop watching the show or like stop covering it because this keeps happening? Because I'm like, should I stop watching the show? Should I stop supporting it? I don't know. I don't have an answer. I was curious how you feel.
I mean, I don't think that I would stop watching it because of this. If I'm being completely honest. It just makes me not want to. It makes me not want Greer to win.
Yeah, same. And
can I also say that? And I don't know if you agree with this or not, but we're almost to a point now where it happens so often that like we just kind of like move on pretty quickly. Like, do you remember like how much shit Rachel Kirkconnell, Kirkconnell, went through for attending a party that had someone that was in blackface? Or
I don't even think they had blackface. It was like it was like a plantation party. So it was like reviving the structures of slavery.
It's nowhere near what Greer was doing, where she was defending it on social media, or what Eric did participating actually in blackface.
And barely apologizing, by the way. And like he only acknowledged it because he had to. Yeah.
So
Eric,
I'm like, we lost our shit, had to do a sit down with Emmanuel Acho about this for 20 minutes. And I'm like over that. And now it's just kind of like, oh, this was Greer's tweets. Here's a little Instagram apology. Let's move on.
Yeah. Well, I think that speaks to a lot of what many people have pointed out, which is that, in 2020, the response to the murder of George Floyd, like, espoused like all these protests and so much conversation. And then a lot of white people just went back to like business as usual. And I think this is part of it. But you're also right. Like we're like totally desensitized to it. We're just like, yeah, this is what happens on The Bachelor.
Yeah, it just makes me not want Greer to win, but I don't think I would stop watching the show. We've talked about like cancel culture and all that. Like some other things, I wouldn't say that this specific instance, but in other instances when stuff gets brought up from like 15 years ago and whatever, they tweeted something that was stupid or whatever. Like, I feel like, okay, like we can get over that. Everyone makes mistakes, especially like if it did happen 15 years ago. Like we did not know the power of social media 15 years ago. Everyone tweeted stupid stuff, like whatever. Her doubling down on something that was bad over and over again on social, because she said like multiple things on Twitter and it wasn't 15 years ago. Like that's different to me. But yeah, I don't know.
I will say to that point, on the topic of Rachel Kirkconnell or Kirkconnell, whatever, I do feel like I don't know her personally, but from the evidence I have, it seems like she has tried to learn and like be an ally since then, like just in like honestly in subtle ways, which I think is better than like being over the top of like, look, I've learned so much. So, I do think that some people who are interested in evolving can. And also someone like Greer, again, I have no evidence that she's changed. So I'm not saying she has, but she was in high school, and maybe like as she becomes an adult in the world, and I think she lives in New York now. She brought the coffee last week, if I recall correctly. Maybe that will help make her realize how sheltered and like racist she was. And maybe she will change. I don't know. We don't have evidence. I hope so though. Like what's the point of drawing all this attention to it if we don't like expect her to change or like don't hope that she can. I'm not saying she will, but like maybe I like to hope that more people will than won't.
Yeah, I think the real question is having one or two contestants a year that might have something controversial in their past. Is that going to stop you from watching The Bachelor, or is having people like Zach as The Bachelor going to make you stop watching The Bachelor?
It's a great point. It's a great point. I mean, like me personally, I find like dealing with Zach to be worse. But I put this for later in the rundown. But I actually, on that topic, I want to talk about Brianna. Since we're kind of here, I was like, oh, Brianna, she's pretty annoying. But I realized she's just getting a really shitty edit, because I'm like, actually, Brianna's totally right. So Brianna,
what?
Yeah. Yes, that's exactly what I want to say. Yes, Brianna is annoying. However, she's right. She never got she never got a rose from Zach. And she's like freaking out. Does Zach actually want me here? And she's right. He probably
Juliet.
doesn't want her there, but it's a legitimate concern. Do I think she seems fun? No. But is he kind of addicted to her? Was Christina addicted to her? Yes.
Wait, what? I am shocked
Why?
by all of this.
Why?
First of all, I agree with you on the point that Zach did not give her a rose. I could understand how she'd be like, does he really want me here? I get that. Is it after 48 hours? Is it something I would cry over? No.
Well, I'm not
and
saying...
like how she presents it is very like I'm such a victim. It's like, no.
She does, I agree, but he's not really that nice to her. He's like, yeah, it's just not that fun talking to you. And like, I'm like a goofy guy. I actually don't have evidence that he's like a fun-loving guy.
No, I don't know if he's a goofy guy. I can agree with that. But also, if every time I've spoken to you, it's like, so I wanted to come talk to you and tell you about how I was like second guessing my experience here and blah, 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 blah. Like the whole thing was about how she wasn't sure if he'd even want, which I'm like, are you fishing for compliments? Like, that's kind of what it seems like. Like, please tell me how badly you want me here. Then the next conversation is like, so remember how I told you about how I wasn't sure if you wanted me here? Well, now I'm not sure if the girls want me here. And it's like, okay.
I'm not saying I want to hang out with her. I agree. She seems unfun.
She was like, do you want to know the names? And you could tell Zach was like, I really don't want any drama. If you feel like I have to know, which made me like Zach more, because Zach is like, I really don't. I don't want to know the names. And unless it's something that's like very alarming, I don't need to know about like the caddy stuff. I just don't need to know about it. And she's like, okay, well, I can just tell. And he's like, if it's already handled, like he was really trying to like.
He was Olivia Poping it. Is it handled? It's handled.
And she's like, okay, I won't share any names. So anyway, this is exactly what was said, but I'm not going to tell you who said it. And even what was said, I think I'm like, maybe in person I can be like a little blunt, maybe a little abrasive. I don't think what she said was bad at all.
Who, Christina?
She was clearly like not serious.
Christina's like a caricature from like a teen movie where it's like, hate you, just kidding, love you, mean it. Like that happens on Ginny and Georgia. One of those characters says that. Hate you, kidding, love you, mean it. That's Christina.
I don't think that she was like, I hate you. Ha, just kidding. Like that's not what happened. She was just like, hate you, JK.
Well, I do think that she seems manipulative. I wouldn't say I'm a Christina fan. Here's my take. Here's my point though. I just feel like Brianna, the only things we've seen from her are her being like, I'm spiraling. I don't think Zach wants me here. And it's like, we've only seen her like questioning herself. There has to be like a bite of her being like, wow, I'm so happy to be here. Maybe just one, or talking to someone else. All right. Well, we don't know for sure. I'm just saying, I think she's a victim of an edit.
We've gotten a good amount of time of Brianna with her conversations with Zach. And most of it has been that.
I guess. That's true. That's how she's using her Zach time.
Fan?
No.
But, and I thought the way Christina apologized, all of that, like if that were me, I would have been like, what? I'm not fucking joking. If you can't take it, then like we shouldn't be friends.
I would prefer that to a conditional apology. I don't like I apologize if, or I apologize like for the impact. It's just like, the impact is the point. It's not, it's like, yeah, we know you didn't mean to.
Like, I genuinely did not mean to. I'm so sorry I hurt your feelings. What else did you want?
I think she made it a little bit more like, I apologize if. I hate when people say I apologize if. It's not if, it happened. I'm telling you how I feel.
I think
I would prefer someone be like,
is as good as it could have ever gotten out of my mouth.
Okay, but you probably wouldn't apologize. Like you wouldn't fake it like Christina. And I would have been like,
I was clearly joking.
Yeah. And I would prefer that.
I'd be like, I'm actually, my apology would have been like, I'm sorry that you're sensitive.
Yeah. I prefer that kind of realness to a half-assed apology. So that's all I'm saying. We'll come back to Christina to talk about her. Gotta say, Brianna looked amazing in her rose ceremony dress. Like it was a little pageanty, but she just has like just a great figure. And she has really big boobs, but like She knows how to dress them, which I think many skinny women with big boobs do not. She looks great.
I think that Christina's setting powder was beautiful. Whoever did her makeup, I would like to know what it was.
She definitely, I mean, either someone in the house did it or she did it herself. They don't get to have, they don't do their own makeup. I mean, they do their own makeup, excuse me.
Please disregard everything that Juliet has said about you and DM me your setting powder because it's really good.
I'm glad you brought that up. I feel like one generational shift with this group of women is I feel like every single one of them spent a few hours at least watching makeup tutorials on YouTube before coming on this show, which they should. Great strategy.
If we go back 5 to 10 years, there is some bad makeup.
The only one who hasn't, Greer. She's like so arrogant. She's like, I don't need to do that. She looks, and you can tell.
There was someone else. Kat is little.
Kat's not good. Kat's out.
I mean, she's gone, but she looked like a little.
These women look really good though. Like really good. Let's talk about some of the other standouts. We're going to go roughly in chronological order. I'd like to begin with Latto, the special guest on this week's first group date. Callie, could you pick Latto out of a crowd? Like, do you know what she looks like? Oh, yeah, for sure. You do?
Yeah.
I couldn't. I mean, I love the Mariah Carey remix. Listen to it all the time. But like, I don't like know her as an individual. So I was like...
Pretty popular.
That's probably just me. This is probably just me being old. They were really
shocked
excited
that she was on this show. Yeah.
Yeah, like, does she need this? I mean, maybe to like...
Definitely does not need... I mean, probably a completely different audience.
Didn't she perform with Mariah Carey at the BET Awards this year? Or in 2022? I'm pretty sure she did because I watched it.
I was about to say, you know what? I did not watch any award show ever.
I like to watch performances from award shows on YouTube the next morning. So I saw that. But I was like surprised she was on it. I was surprised they were so excited. And I was like, I wonder if they knew who she was before they said it. But like, that's probably just me being old.
No. I was trying to look. I mean, I would think that they're at the age where I think a lot of them probably do know who she is. But I was trying to see like who was actually excited. I do think Davia was actually excited.
Yeah, she was. I like Davia a lot. She seems like straight to paradise, but I like her a lot.
I mean, yeah, she's not winning, but I also liked her. Like, I loved how she was like, oh my God, Mercedes looks so good. Yeah. So I was just like, yeah, that's real. You don't have to act like you're the best or like, yeah, I really appreciate it.
It's supportive and also honest and like, and also confident. And it's what we're looking for. She seems great.
100%. Someone who can like give a compliment, like someone who realizes that giving a compliment to someone else doesn't take away from you.
Yes.
Is
absolutely.
Someone I could be friends with.
Yes. Davia is my top choice for friend so far on this season. I totally agree. She looks great. Who was the baddest bitch to you from this challenge? And by the way, Zach saying bad bitch energy over and over again is a no for me. I'm done with that.
No, yeah. I would say the combination of Latto and Zach was not my favorite.
A true oil and water.
Bad bitch energy. I was just like, oh my goodness, this is so uncomfortable.
That's a keep it. No, thank you.
The 3 women that they brought back for what?
Okay. So they had Victoria. Fine. I'm kind of surprised the franchise is embracing her, but I get it. She's popular.
Not surprised that she did it. I'm surprised that Greg is with someone that would do it. But continue.
Callie, you got to get off the Greg corner. He clearly is not the man you want him to be. I'm sorry. There's that. And then Courtney Robertson. I was like, what is she doing here? Why is she back? That was so random. And she didn't speak. I think she said like 3 words.
Oh, random. I would say that Victoria F for me at least makes sense with this theme of like bad bitch energy.
Yes. And she was just on Paradise. Like Courtney Robertson was on Ben Flajnik's season.
But also like the way Victoria handles herself very much aligns.
Yes, agreed.
What they're supposed to be bringing. Tajwan and Courtney, I was like, what? I mean,
Tajwan was great TV. So, yeah, I was happy to see her. Love Tajwan. But like,
bad bitch energy and Tajwan? No. We've seen her sweat 75 gallons. What in the world is she doing here?
Maybe it's because she stormed off a few times. She was just like, fuck this, I'm out from Paradise. So weird. The clear winner of the bad bitch energy, though, is there any doubts? Obviously, Kylie. Kylie crushed it. Well, she's an NBA dancer, as they pointed out, but still, she was great.
It was very aggressive. But Kylie, we did not see like any of her from the first episode. And this episode, I was like, I think I like Kylie.
Me too. I'm all in on Kylie. She's one of my favorites for sure.
Even as an NBA dancer, I don't know if I would have gone that hard on this. And you could tell that she was just like, whatever. I also loved her bad bitch moment, other than her first 4 words. I think I counted that right. I have a poor white mom, which I feel like it could have been phrased a little bit differently. I also have a poor white mom, and I have curly hair, and it was really, really hard for my mom to like figure out how to do my hair when I was younger.
How did she figure it out?
My grandma helped her. But even still, I looked literally insane 50% of the time. Like some of my baby pictures, I was like, what the fuck? But I just think my poor white mom, I don't know. Like you could have said, I have a white mom who didn't know how to do my hair.
I don't know what poor had to do with it, but maybe that's just like speaks to like the weight that she carries thinking about her identity or whatever.
I think she was trying to say like my poor white mom didn't know how to, like, not like actually poor, but like,
oh, like sad from like my, yeah.
Gotcha. I feel so bad for her. She tried so hard, but she couldn't do it. But how it was actually phrased did not suggest that. But I think that's what she meant. But whatever. I didn't really relate to her story.
Because when she said it, I was like, oh, okay. So she didn't grow up with a lot of money. Like that's how I heard it.
That's what she meant. I related to her story. I liked her story. And I thought that was actually a really good example of a bad bitch moment where some of the other ones I was like, I don't know if that's really what he was going for. So yeah, Kylie was, she shined for, I think Kylie and Davia were my favorites from the state.
Also, Kylie had the wings, which like, I presume the props were all up for grabs. And I was like, if you're going to be like dancing to music on a runway, yeah, evoke Victoria's Secret's Angels. Great idea. That's an icon that we all can recognize. She crushed it. She's from Charlotte. So I was like, was she a Hornets dancer? I got to look into that. But I really like her. She also just like seems fun and bubbly and
normal.
Yeah, Kylie and Davia. I'm all in on them. They seem great. So
we didn't get enough from Mercedes, but I would also say like the few interviews that we had from her also seemed like nice and bubbly.
Yeah, sure. Mercedes,
they just came across the most confident on stage, and some of the other ones you could tell were very uncomfortable. Which is totally fine. Not everyone's going to be comfortable doing that.
Mercedes, when I look at her face, I see Serena P. So I was just distracted. Not in a bad way, but I was just like, are they related?
Serena P is very, very pretty.
Yeah.
But I do see the resemblance now that you say that. You really hit it on the head a few times today.
Thank you. Yeah, I have like a ridiculous memory for faces. So.
Except for your Patrick Mahomes comment. Everything else I agree with.
That was off air. Everyone will have to wonder what it was. This episode is brought to you by eBay Authenticity Guarantee. eBay knows that when it comes to jewelry, authenticity is the real gem. When you see the blue check mark that says Authenticity Guarantee, it means your next piece will be carefully inspired by jewelry experts and will always be worth its weight in gold. Whether you're looking to make a statement or build the perfect everyday look, eBay is making sure you get the real deal. With eBay Authenticity Guarantee, you can trust that jaw-dropping piece will always arrive jaw-droppingly real. Ensure your next purchase is the real deal. Visit ebay.com for terms. This episode is brought to you by Visible. Maybe you've already let your New Year's resolution slip. We all have, but you can still make a 2 year's resolution with Visible. Right now, you can get a one-line wireless plan from Visible for just $20 per month for 24 months. 24 months is basically 4 Bachelor seasons. That could be 4 engagements, 4 broken engagements. So many other couples we didn't see coming. It's really an eternity in Bachelor Nation. And that's unlimited 5G data powered by Verizon with no annual contracts. Switch now at Visible.com and use the code VISIBLE24. Don't miss out. Offer ends January 31st. New members only. Promotional rate with service on the Visible plan. For additional terms and network management practices, see Visible.com.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. You might say all kinds of stuff when things go wrong, but these are the words you really need to remember. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. They've got options to fit your unique insurance needs, meaning you can talk to your agent to choose the coverage you need. Have coverage options to protect the things you value most. File a claim right on the State Farm mobile app and even reach a real person when you need to talk to someone. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Callie, who are you rooting for in the Super Bowl?
Oh, Eagles.
Me too.
Easy.
Me too.
Easy.
Oh, is it because of like your connection to Philly sports?
I mean, yeah, also just like living there and stuff. I just feel like the city would lose it if it were to win. I also watched Jalen Hurts GQ My Essentials YouTube.
Oh, cool.
And it, like, please watch it.
I'm going to.
Love him.
Those videos either make me love people or hate people. Like I watched the Christian Pulisic one during the World Cup times, and I was like, this man is so lame. I was like, it was like my wallet, my phone. I was like, come on, dude. It's like, go beyond it.
Jalen Hurts' number one thing, he's like, my number one essential is my FaceTimes with my grandma. Mm-hmm. And then like he's about to move on and his phone starts ringing. He's like, it's literally my grandma. And
that's really cute.
He answers the phone and you can tell it's not fake how his grandma like is just like ready to talk to him. And she was like, look at my outfit. Look what I got on. And I was just like, this is so cute. And he like even like looked at the camera like, he's not going to hang up the phone.
Is there anything better than like a no one believed in me quarterback making the Super Bowl? I mean, I'm just really happy for this man. It's great.
There's not much better. Also, people still saying that he's like undeserving. I'm just like, why? Why do you not want to give it to him?
I know. Just back off, everybody. Support Jalen Hurts. All right. Back to The Bachelor. Anyway.
Would love for him to be The Bachelor. I'm down for that.
Jalen Hurts? That would be fantastic. This is I've always wanted an athlete bachelor, right? They need to. The problem with football players is that the timing doesn't work. But like, let's just change things up. Do what you can to make a splash with your next bachelor. If that means we're filming it from, late February through early May, like fine. Just like there is a window in there in which it is dead for NFL players. Like Travis Kelce had a TV show. It was on E! Like,
by the way, another great option.
Well, I don't know. I didn't really care for his jabroni. I'm like, I get it. Stone Cold Steve Austin or The Rock. Get it. Cool. He's great. Great personality.
Very good looking.
I don't know.
It's not an argument. Like he is.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Does he smoke? He has smoker's teeth.
Like cigarettes?
Cigarettes, yeah.
It seems like it would be really hard to be a smoker and play football, but
especially as a cornerback.
He's not skinny.
I know, but again, he's like in a cornerback.
Could you have like thighs like that and be a smoker? I'm not sure.
Actually, is he a tight end? He's a tight end. Sorry. Anyway, he's a good option. What I wanted to say is I think that George Kittle with his current haircut might be like the least attractive NFL player. I just want him to reevaluate what he's doing with his hair.
I love him.
It's not what I said. I didn't say if I liked him or not. Just that his hair and his look right now is really tough.
His personality is amazing on the field.
I couldn't believe he got a Zenny commercial.
He's definitely married, but he would also be just a good, like we gotta get a fun, likable character in there.
I completely agree. And they need to be famous, like legitimately famous, known to like, I would say 30% of NFL viewers on Sunday. There's a lot of them, so 30% is a lot. Like if you can
have to have some crossover though, right? I feel like a lot of NFL viewers also watch.
Yes, absolutely. There's a huge football bachelor crossover. Also, probably pick someone who went to an SEC school. So and that's like not hard. There's so many Alabama and LSU players. Like it's just not hard.
There's so many players that can fall into that.
Yeah. Or like, I don't know, at this point, Ohio State would be fine too. But like, let's just get a bona fide NFL celebrity as the bachelor. That's all we're asking for. Change the schedule, make it happen. All right.
We're asking for too much.
Back to the show. Kat. She's the real loser from this week. She went home crawling on the catwalk. I don't think so. It was very tough to watch.
Crawling on the catwalk when her name is Kat. It was too much.
It was awful.
You know what? Let's give. I'm going to take every opportunity I can to give Zach props.
Okay, that's a great resolution.
So I'm going to give Zach props for who he doesn't like. I tend to be on the same page as him.
I agree. Yeah, so far he's got like pretty good taste. I also will say he is trying. He like wants to be a fun-loving guy.
and like seems like he really wants this to work. So he's given it his all. And, you know, he's clearly not a bad bitch, but he tried to find his bad bitch energy. So that's good. He's a good sport.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. On the topic of Zach, should he have allowed Tajwan to join the season?
No, also, Tajwan, what the fuck?
She cannot be interested. Do you think they paid her extra to pretend that she wanted to be on the show? That's the only thing I can come up with.
I'm not sure. They're trying anything to spice it up, so maybe. That's the only thing I could think of. Also, how she acted, I was like, did someone give you lines? Like, what? She's not like a mean girl. That's like not her energy.
No, not at all. And when she was talking to the women while Zach was like pondering it, what she said didn't really make sense. And she also didn't really make it clear like why she was there. So like, I wonder, I mean, it was just
really
confusing.
Obviously, you guys aren't going to be his wife. So I'm here. And it was like, so. And then like, yeah, if you guys all want to come at me, I'm fine with that. And it's like, no one was coming at you. You're coming at them. So now they're like, oh, I'm a little offended. Why are you saying that? It just, and then she was crying. I'm so.
I know.
The whole thing.
I know. Why does she keep trying to find love this way? Tajwan, it's not going to happen this way for you. And that's okay. It's not going to happen for most people in the world this way. So just like seek other options. Go on a different show for God's sake. Go on like Too Hot to Handle.
Go on Challenge.
Oh, that's a good idea. Also, there's so many international shows she could go on now. Like there's just so many reality shows. Like open up your dating pool, get out of The Bachelor, and don't be one of many.
Also, I gotta say, right now, The Bachelor does have like a good pool of former people that are single.
Absolutely. I mean, Nate, Rodney, the other Nate, like a lot of good ones. Jason. I don't think Andrew and Tajwan would be a match, but that's just me. But I could see her.
I don't know if any of these people would be a match for her, but I'm saying there's a good pool. So get to work off screen.
By the way, Zach said that one of his closest friends from his season was Gabby's Nate, who we loved. Nate, why?
Really?
Yeah. And Tyler. I think those guys like
Tyler, but
in general like each other. Yeah. I mean, I think I very, very quickly would just be like way more interested in friendship than the guy. I would just try to like stay as long as possible to hang out, basically. One of my personal mottos is I'm just here for the hang. And I just, especially if I was on Zach's season, I'd be like, yeah, these girls seem cool.
I mean, a lot of them become best friends after this.
It's because they never had any friends before. So
friendship is on the table.
All right. The one-on-one. Christina got a helicopter ride and they went to Zach's house for his mom's birthday. This is a classic. Meeting the family on the first episode. Maddie had that on Peter's season.
Maddie Prue,
yeah.
By the way,
now married.
Have you seen the most recent things about her?
No.
Oh my gosh. Her husband did an interview about their relationship.
Oh, have they had sex yet?
Yes, they have had sex. They talk about that on this interview, and her husband pretty much dominated 99. I don't even remember hearing Maddie speak now that I'm thinking about it.
So it's like a video I could watch.
Oh yeah, I'll have to send it to you. And he's like, before he got married, Satan is tempting you. And there was sometimes we would cross the line. Nothing ever anything too serious, but like that's what Satan does. He wants to tempt you. And then next morning I would wake up with so much regret, like, oh, I took it too far, and and that's what Satan does. And then after you get married, Satan wants to come in between you because now you guys can have intimacy. So when we get in fights, we look Satan right in the eye.
This is insane. He sounds like okay, good luck, guys. That's nuts.
I have to send you the clips because I was just like, what? The fact that he's saying we look Satan right in the eyes and have sex to prove him wrong that he can't get in between us.
I mean,
I'm just like, all right. I mean, like,
right between the eyes.
I don't know. Everyone has different kinks.
Like a dunk.
If you want to stare at Satan while you're hooking up with your wife, that's on you.
What do you think that, whatever. I was going to say, like, what's too far to him? Like what base?
I don't know. I would assume like
a blowjob or something.
No way. I'm saying make out with tongue.
What? They can't do that? Satan says no to that before marriage? That's shocking. Oh, whatever. Good luck, everybody. Christina Mandrell. She could not resist Satan because she is a mother. So we have to smell. Although perhaps she was married. I don't know. She got the one-on-one at Zach's house with his family. Zach's family seems like super normy, like just like regular people.
It made me like Zach more. Let's give him another compliment. I was like, this is very normal. His family acted normal. There was no weirdness whatsoever from Bam Bam.
Yeah. And they were like, not like pushing it too hard. It seemed nice. Like everyone was just like doing
super
their
relaxed.
Yeah. It seemed like a nice day. I was hoping that Zach's uncle would be there. I was surprised that he wasn't.
He didn't make it.
Yeah.
Childhood home. Does his parents currently live there?
In Anaheim? Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if they like went back.
No, I think his parents never left Anaheim. He lives in Austin, which I think is like actually another like nice thing about Zach. I think Austin seems like a way better place to live as in your 20s than Anaheim. So
seems like a bachelor hub.
And LA. Yeah, it is right now. I mean, it's just like a hub in general right now. It's a poppin'. And then Christina, like the baby pictures of Zach made her really emotional. She claims because she's a mom. And then
we did not see the emotion, but
no, she said so. She told us it was there. And then she told Zach and he seemed pretty freaked out. I don't know. What'd you think about his reaction?
I thought that he did seem freaked out, but I liked his reaction because
it was honest.
I think he was very honest.
Yeah.
Like he was like, I'm not going to say I'm not scared. Like this is something I've never thought of before. Also, it seemed like he really thought about like giving her the rose, which I also appreciated because like, don't give me the rose if you're going to get me.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So I do like that he was like, it seemed like it was actually something that he was like really debating in his head and he decided I like her enough to keep trying and see what's there.
He seemed like he was really processing it in real time and like talking it out. He seems like he's had very successful therapy, honestly, because he was like talking things through in real time while staying calm. And
I also like he said, I want to get to know her more and I'd like to get to know Blakely a little bit more. Like
Blakely May. Yeah,
I feel like he's like really thinking about like how this would work and I'm open to it. So I'm going to give her a chance.
Yeah, I thought it was nice. Also, I like how he emphasized that he was scared because it probably is scary. I mean, Zach's like, you know, I'm sure this, or I don't know, but it seems like he hasn't imagined himself as a father yet. And so thinking about that as even as like a stepfather is probably just, you know, different to think about. So kudos to Zach. Christina just seems so fake, though. Everything about her. I mean, it sounds like next week she starts getting the villain edit, but
the previews for next week clearly are not in her favor. But I didn't feel that. I don't know. I was really, really distracted by her setting powder. I thought she was fine. I got a little bit of the fakeness, but not to the degree that you did. But it seems like the girls also are sensing that same.
I think she seems
the other women
too.
Have that same alert that you have. So I might just be missing it or distracted
by her setting powder. I thought it was interesting that she did not tell the women what she did on her one-on-one. That Zach is the one who revealed that she went to meet his family and she hadn't told them. I thought that was actually kind of nice of her.
I was going to say, I think that's a lose-lose.
For who?
Her. Like if you tell them and they're all like, oh, she's bragging about meeting his family and then they don't like her because she met his family and seems like a front runner. And then you don't tell everyone, Zach tells them, and they're like, oh, she's hiding stuff. Like you just can't win.
I think she just made him look bad. Like she should have told him that she like didn't tell everyone because then, yeah. Anyway, biggest mystery of the episode, the second group date. They go from like sitting in the living room to the night session of the group date. And Zach was like, at the end of the night, he was like, what a date we've had, or what a day we've had. And we're like, yeah, we'd love to know what happened. That was so weird.
They completely edited it out.
Yeah. Either it was awkward or just super boring. Something bad happened or it was boring.
Probably boring. Come on.
I'm going to find out what it was. I'll ask Jesse Palmer.
It was boring. Let's be honest. We know what it was. But no, it was weird because they were in the living room. All of a sudden they were having one-on-ones and I was like, wait, is this the date?
It was really weird. My friend Sarah pointed it out too, and it was just very strange. And
everyone got a date though.
It's funny that they've like returned to the antique store as like a place for a nighttime cocktail party or whatever. Like they used to do that in pre-COVID, and it's back. It kind of seems fun. It's also just like really random and must be super cheap. Like the cost of an after hours use of an antique store must be very, very low. So
nothing.
Yeah. Because it's like there's not like they're losing money. Jess got the rose. I just feel 0% surprised that Zach's into Jess. I don't know if she's gonna win, but I just feel like she's like gonna go really far. I see her going final four for sure.
Me too.
And then I think it's like she's too young, not ready. But she's a major makeup tutorial girl. She looks really different with makeup on. Good. She looks great.
She wears like the makeup that doesn't look like she's wearing a lot of makeup.
Mm-hmm. I like that look. It's a good one.
Her tutorial, so she should do one.
Yeah. Jess, tell us your secrets. Ariel, she's from New York. She went to high school down the street from where I grew up. She went to the Trevor Day School, which is also the home of like many other rich people. So I'm assuming she's rich. And she was writing out some notes. It was a lot of Ariel time. Ariel also was a tell, don't show type of emotion person, being like, oh my God, I feel so much. Like I'm blushing in places I shouldn't. And I was like, are you? You look exactly the same to me. What did you think about her?
It's not for me. I think she goes really far.
She did say something really honest though, which was like, when you date in New York, you're supposed to pretend you have no emotions. That is so true. Like you're not supposed to feel anything after a date.
I've never gone on it in New York, I don't think.
Well, it is true that like if you like act too into someone, it's like
turn off.
It's over. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I think like the whole like this date in general just wasn't for me. It was a lot of like talk whispering. Do you know what I mean?
Well, we don't even know what the date was, but yes, it was a lot of talk whispering and like my biggest fear is that you won't want to kiss me. Also, she wrote very small on the paper.
There was a few one-liners. Like Catherine had a one-liner on the first date, which Catherine got the first date rose. I don't think we even mentioned that.
Oh yeah.
But she was just like, I can't. It was very much so like, I don't know, but I would love to feel your lips on mine. Like I was just like, what?
I know, it's like
stop with these like one-liners,
like sweet nothings. Yeah.
It was so weird. But that was like the same thing with Ariel, whatever. When she was like, my biggest fear is that I won't get a kiss. He's like,
we can change that.
Oh, like I just can't. I can't do that.
The kissing thing is pretty like weird because kissing is like fun as like a gateway to other things, but like it's just like making out on the couch ad nauseum. Yeah, it's just like boring and like kind of gross.
After you've done it with 5 other people, it's just all disgusting.
Yeah. He must need like a lot of breaks in between. I don't know. The whole thing is, when you really break it down, it's just really a bizarre concept. Let's talk about Gabby. She of the nicknames. Zach, don't call him Zachariah. He was not into that.
I don't think he was into any of it. And she was like, Zachy?
Also, like, Zach is a nickname. Also, Gabby is a nickname for Gabrielle. And she's like, you can call me Gabriella. Like, why is she making all their names longer?
It was just all so weird. I think she honestly, though, was like,
very nervous. I think he likes her.
So I'm really close to my family. They're the most important thing in my world. They also have a nickname for me. Gabby, you can call me Gabriella. What should I call you? Zachariah? Zachy? Like,
and then she was like, I'm from Vermont. I used to go to the farmers markets. And he was like, oh, and he really wanted to talk about farmers markets. And she was like, and then my mom would teach me how to cook. And he was like, lost the moment to connect. But at the rose ceremony cocktail party, he seemed actually pretty into her. So I wonder.
Yeah, what?
I don't know what changed.
Do you want a lady? What'd she say? She didn't say Lady and the Tramp. She said shrimp or something. I don't know.
Eat a chocolate together.
Like that?
I don't want to do it with spaghetti either, by the way. It's just like dirty.
I don't want to do it, period. I don't want to get 2 straws in my milkshake. I don't want it. You get your milkshake, I get my milkshake. We're good.
Where do you stand on sharing soup? I think it's disgusting.
In the same bowl?
Yeah, I think it's like one of the most disgusting things.
No, I think a milkshake is worse. Anything that's like
really
milky. Bleh. You can see this, like after you take a sip, you can see it going back in, and then you're gonna drink it up. No,
gross. I'm face palming right now as you describe that. I once said to my 2 college roommates, Tara and Claudia, I was like, we were like sharing a soup like many years ago, And I was like, this is the most intimate thing one can do. And they thought it was like an insane thing to say, but I kind of stand by it. It's
No,
disgusting.
I'm not sharing. The amount I share with my children is unsanitary for sure.
I think that's like, I hear that's what parents do.
Yeah, but I'm also just like, I mean, I literally made you. So
yeah,
like whatever I have, you have, whatever. I don't like my kids touch things. I'm not eating it after that because their hands are next level.
Dirty.
Disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not a big like.
Anyway, he seemed to come back around on Gabby, which was just really weird.
Sure. No,
you hate terms. I think so. Gabby's the one who went to Ole Miss with Greer. I wonder when that's going to come up. If it's going to come up. Also, going from Vermont to Ole Miss, that's like a huge change as far as I know. I've never been to Mississippi, but that just seems really different.
Yeah, I would say it's very different. We used to have to hold hands. Not hold hands. Oh my God. We used to have to, for some reason I like processed that in my head as like kindergarten, but this was in college. We were not allowed to go anywhere by ourselves in Mississippi because there was a lot of Black girls on my team.
Interesting.
And so my coach, she didn't say because we were Black, but she was like, no one go anywhere alone.
Interesting.
And I was like,
that's
okay,
scary.
Where are we? Yeah, they also got a nuisance to our game.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's awful. Jesus
I know, at the time,
Christ.
it was not good, but I didn't think it was that crazy.
Oh my God, that's terrible. I mean, God didn't phase you.
2008?
Yeah, that wasn't like a long time ago.
No, but I'm sure that like now, obviously those people, it would have been a huge thing.
I hope so. Oh my God, that's awful, Callie. I'm sorry.
Did not affect me at all at the time, but yeah.
Well, if it didn't affect you, I guess we can just move along.
I mean, I just remember being like, I can't believe they were allowed to do that. Like, that's all I remember like thinking.
That's
and then
wild.
just like, all right, next game. But yeah, that's Ole Miss. So it really tracks for Greer, unfortunately.
Greer stuck around. She didn't go home yet. So Gabby also got a rose. Kat and Kimberly and one other brunette who, like, honestly, I could not identify. I tried really hard. I couldn't figure out who it was. And I said to you, it was a wooden brunette. And looking at Victoria's picture, she is a wooden brunette. You're correct. So she's out.
I also don't remember her at all. So
I don't think she spoke at all. So that's probably a way to remember her. She's
dang,
out.
that whole last row is out.
Yeah, I know. Everyone by with the at the end of the alphabet. Goodbye to Victoria, Vanessa, the other Victoria, Sonia. I think both Olivia's they're gone.
And Madison.
Yeah. They've eliminated a lot pretty quickly.
Yeah. Mercedes is hanging on by a thread back there.
Yeah. Well, she's still here. Next week, Katie has a camping date with Zach.
It seems to be a sleepover.
That's like pretty awesome. I'd love to have a sleepover early on. That's a huge advantage.
I would not in a tent, but I would like a sleepover.
I need to know more about the tent. Was there a cot? Was there an air mattress? Was it glamping? Camping is a no, but like a cute tent that's like not too cold and has a comfortable bed. Sure. It seems fun. Can we talk about some Bachelor news?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
I was perusing Bachelor Reddit and it came to my attention that Claire Crawley, who's now engaged to a non-famous man, her wedding dress was stolen. And I'm just like, this woman cannot get a break with her love story. I just feel like she's constantly just taking L's. It's really weird.
I didn't even see this.
I know, I hadn't either, but like, it's so insane. And she's like, everything happens for a reason. But I can't understand the poor woman. I don't know. This was in People. So it seems fine. And she seems like she's fine, but she's just constantly having bad things happen to her on her journey to marriage. Next item. I don't follow Demois, but apparently Demois said that another Bachelor Nation couple is getting divorced. And they're waiting to announce it because Deanna, who was the Bachelorette, and also on The Bachelor, just announced that she's getting divorced from Steven Stagliano. So who do you think it's going to be? Here's some options.
There has been so much speculation.
Who do you think it is?
I don't know, but I can tell you who I don't think it is. And I wish people would move on.
Okay.
Rachel and Brian.
Oh, it's definitely not Rachel and Brian.
No, but that's like the number one
that's because
couple that people think. And I'm like, it's not like, why?
Also, That's ridiculous. And I tell you why though. People are anti-Rachel, and also would like care that someone else announced it.
No, all of it. I'm like, it's so opposite. But anyways.
It's so funny. I was like, that didn't even occur to me. Like, and also I don't even think of them as like a bachelor couple. But that's because people are fucked up and give Rachel a hard time. And fuck that. We love you, Rachel.
Yeah, of course. I don't know. Wait, who do you think?
I could see being Jade and Tanner.
No, they just had a baby or having another one.
Aren't she pregnant again? Jesus, their fourth kid.
Either she just had one or is about to have another one.
I don't know. They just like that happened really fast.
I don't think it's them.
You think it's Ari and Lauren?
No, Ari did an interview and they asked him if it was him.
No, they seem really happy.
Yeah, Ari was like, he started laughing and was like, no, we are very much together. We just celebrated our anniversary.
Yeah, I think they seem like they're doing great.
I think if it was them, that like he wouldn't have, the way he answered, I was like, it's not them. Also watching Ari on Traders right now. I'm not up to date, so tell me if you're up to date.
Okay. I watched about half, but I know what happens in the end. I also just want to say having Suri back on my TV is a great joy in life. I fucking love Suri. She is like so good at television and so good at these games. I think she might be like one of the most underrated people in the history of reality television. I love her.
Well, she's also like the actual like challengers they have. She's like one of the best players in every single one of them.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't know if you got to the point where they did the bells. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I did.
Where they ring the bells. How the fuck was she getting those? She knew every song. She'd listen to it once and be like, oh, McDonald, let's go. I'm like, how are you getting that?
Suri was on Tyson's Survivor Pod for season 41 or 42. I can't remember. She's awesome. Like, I loved her on Survivor. Honestly, I was excited about Traders because Suri was on it and she has not disappointed. She's awesome.
She needs to do a challenge on CBS like Tyson did.
Yeah, she's like just so great. I don't know.
Although I would literally vote her
nurses. Of course. These people don't watch TV.
Very first episode.
Obviously, they don't know how talented she is because if you've watched her on TV, you'd be like, she can't stay. She's going to win. Yeah.
I'm like, these people are so stupid.
I love her.
Anyways, Ari's doing pretty well so far.
I think he seems like super normal and just like a guy who like, he seems genuine. I think he has grown up a lot. Seems like one of those people who their relationship has really like made them a better person, which is always nice to see.
Also, obviously, like how it all happened wasn't ideal.
So yeah,
but I think he ended up with the right person. And he seems really fucking happy.
And now Becca's happy too.
And to your point, very normal. Like watching this, I was just like, I remember not liking him. I think I like him.
Yeah, I know. I feel the same way. I was actually thinking a lot about that because like I'm so mean about Zach and just like so unattracted to him. But now that Ari's like settling into this phase of life, I'm like, yeah, actually, I see it. He seems like a nice guy, and I'm like, okay, all right, I see. So who do you think it is?
Oh,
there aren't a ton of options, so I hope it's not Ashleigh and Jared.
It could be Ashleigh and Jared.
I hope it's not, but yeah.
After you have a baby, it's really tough. But I mean, I guess Jade and Jenner is having their 7th, so who knows? I hope it's someone from like a long time ago that's been married for like 20 years and like they're
That's another rumor is Molly and Jason Mesnick.
Also, maybe it's fucking no one.
That's true. You're right. Me too.
It's no one.
Hope everyone's happy.
I would say the other big, like Rachel and Brian were definitely number 1, and number 2 was Jesse Palmer.
He just got married.
So I'm just telling you what TikTok's telling me.
I'll tell you what his vibe is like tomorrow. I'll report back. I'll just ask him who he thinks it is and see how he responds. That would be so fucked up.
Everyone else is getting asked.
All right, I'll do it.
I don't think that's fucked up. You're not hoping it's him.
No, I don't want anyone.
You're giving him a chance to be like, I'm very happy.
Yeah.
Like they asked Ari and his answer was like, he was not offended at all. He was very like, it is not me.
Good. Yeah, I like Ari now. What a turn of events. Last note related. People thought the Brandon and Serene broke up, but they're still together. Thank God. I would be genuinely upset if they broke up.
I didn't see that.
Horrible.
Why do people think that?
I don't know, but they're still together. They announced it. It was just like random speculation. Maybe they hadn't posted together in a while. Who knows? But I would be genuinely upset.
I see them on TikTok, so
okay, good.
Yeah.
Phew. Well, As I said, I'll be talking to Jesse Palmer. You can hear that on Thursday. Talking to you about the show is much more fun than watching the show. So thank you so much, Callie.
Also, we're thinking about covering other shows, so we'll see what happens.
Perhaps some Love Island. See if I can get my act together. I'm going to try really hard. Thank you to our producer, Ashleigh Smith. Thank you to all of you for listening. I'll be back on Thursday, and Callie and I will be back next Monday night. As always, have a great week.